We got two pieces of news to talk about today. Two updates to stuff we've talked about over the past couple of days. First one being an update to our Transformers Swapticon line and getting our very first look at some listings that we talked about just recently. And the second one, a update to just yesterday when we talked about Transformers Cyberworld and what's happening with our new Transformers series and what's going to be the story with that. Very cool stuff here. So first we're going to go all the way to the other side of the globe, far, far away from the Transformers Slag podcast HQ, to Indonesia, and specifically a Kid Station store, which is their version of Toys R Us. And we have some Transformers Swapticon products popping up there and debuting for the first time in retail. And while some of them are the ones we've already talked about and seen, one of them is one that we had no idea what the characters were. We did have listings, so we would know that some of those characters would be part of the set. But one of those listings, the Transformers Swapticons Wild Jungle Mission 5-pack, we didn't know what was in that. Now we have it here. Again, it's one of those early but blurry images, unfortunately, but we do have an idea of what is going to be in that 5-pack, and hopefully we'll get better images as the week progresses. But who is in this interesting little 5-pack here? Well, it's a beast-loving 5-pack. It's all beasts, all kinds of stuff. A lot of Beast Wars love here, minus one of the characters that originates from G1. But we got a really cool little 5-pack here. It comes with Optimus Primal and Apelinq that I'm going to assume combine to make a gorilla of some kind. The Optimus Primal, judging by the package art here, looks like he has a lot of blues on him. I don't know if that's just a holdover from some of the other Hasbro West Coast Rise of the Beast blue that they would put on Optimus Primal from his movie design. Is it the blue because of how the Bat Primal was, even though this is obviously going to turn into a gorilla? I do not know, but very blue on him. And the Apelinq looks very movie Apelinq, or maybe a little bit of Season 1 Optimus Primal. It's kind of hard to tell with these images here. But again, to make a stark contrast between the two in coloring at least. So they're probably going to turn into a gorilla. Very interesting there. Then we have a Generation 1 Skullcruncher. And, I love this, Beast Wars Croc Megatron. They're going to obviously combine together to make a crocodile, alligator, whatever you want to call it. And it's very cool that we have a Croc Megatron again, because I have a theory here. Again, this stuff I feel has been designed by Hasbro West Coast, and they were the ones behind the Classics Hero Team collection, which was kind of like the spiritual successor of Rescue Bots over the last 3 years. And they had a Croc Megatron homage from Beast Wars in that line. So it's kind of funny to see here another Croc Megatron in this line here. Hopefully one day we'll get a proper Croc Megatron with all the bells and whistles in our more adult-based Generations flavored line. But for the time being, you got your Croc Megatron and Generation 1 Skullcruncher combining to make a crocodile in some shape or form here. And then the lone member on the side, and this is what I said before, it's a 5-pack, so that means you're going to have two pairs, and then you're going to have one that's kind of on its own, which is weird how they numbered this. But in the lone member of this 5-pack, we have a Beast Wars Scorponok. Not a Generation 1 Scorponok, not a movie Scorponok. This is clearly, judging by the colors here, Beast Wars Scorponok, rocking kind of his color scheme from his toy from 1995-96. And that's really cool, too. Now, the question is he the front of the Scorpion with the clamps? Is he the back of the Scorpion with the tail? We don't know. Is there going to be another 5-pack? And the other 5-pack will have the front or back end of this Scorpion. And who will that member be? Is it Sandstorm, I guess? You know, so very interesting there with that extra member there. Very beast-loving set here with a little bit of G1 flavor with the Skullcruncher, Headmaster flavor, I guess, also. So very cool, very cool. Now we get to see what this thing looks like. We don't have a price yet. We know that the 2-packs are $10 each. And this, well, you know, definitely over 20 for sure. There's 5 figures here. So we will see. Of course, we haven't seen yet the Grimlock Snarl, the Starscream Thundercracker, the Nemesis Prime Clench, and the Shadow Panther Ravage. We haven't seen those 2-packs yet, but hopefully they'll be showing up very, very soon. And the next thing we're going to be covering is we finally have some deeper information about that retailer planogram that's used for a trade show that we talked about yesterday for Transformers Cyberworld. Apparently this is the planogram for the booth for the Nuremberg Toy Fair that's going to be happening Transformer Tuesday, January 28th, So if that's the case, we got quite a bit of stuff to talk about, because we have a blurb here also of what Cyberworld is going to be from the Hasbro people at the Nuremberg Toy Fair. So it reads here, since their creation, Transformers has encouraged and inspired kids across the globe to use their imagination and create inventive worlds for their transformative vehicle soldiers to fit within. It's been their calling card for years, and it's only increased as the toys have evolved into true mecha wonders. Now Hasbro is kicking it up a notch with the release of Cyberworld, a fresh stylized toy line visually inspired by mecha anime, that's an interesting mention there, where Transformer bots of all kinds get dropped into one combined world made of diverse regions. Here, kids will be able to devise their own Transformer storylines that cross characters between well-known worlds and lore, allowing them to create new team-ups, battles, and action. Since this is a major release, Hasbro is going to be premiering it at this month's Nuremberg Toy Fair, where the toys will be revealed alongside with an upcoming YouTube series, and they're looking for you to help capture footage for these toys from the Toy Fair to use it to reveal Cyberworld to the world. Okay, sure. So first let's talk about the pitch, premise, and story here, if we could take away from that. It sounds like they're doing a little bit like the Transformers Universe 1.0 line that Aaron Archer and company created back in 2003, which is like all these different Transformers from different universes meeting in one to have a giant battle. In 2004, Japan had their own version of that, which was Robot Masters, where the different Transformers from different lore and time went through the Blasty Zone and had a similar kind of thing. And even in a modern sense, it also kind of sounds like what Legacy was planning for Netflix, which was supposed to be, quoted from them, a lighter in tone sequel to the Kingdom War for Cybertron series, where you had Straxus as the main villain, and the Transformers would be pulled and ripped from the space bridge into battling each other in this brand new kind of mixed timeline. So it seems like the concept remained, and we kind of have just this different kind of visuals and everything going on here. And just the show itself was originally canned, and now we got something new completely out of that little idea from all that while back. So it sounds interesting. I mean, the part here saying inspired by mecha anime, I mean, is that something that's really aimed towards more just the casual crowd to make sense of what Transformers is? Or is it aimed at the more hardcore crowd or the fans to tell us that we're going to get something different that's more Japanese inspired? I don't know. Again, this is obviously a blurb that is meant for something at a toy fair aimed at a more general demographic. So sometimes it also, plays it quick and easy when it comes to these descriptions. Even the mention, of course, of like this whole part about the kids making their own storylines, I wouldn't read too much into that. That really just sounds like them promoting product. I mean, look no further than, Age of the Prime Toys listings, and you'll see something written similar, get these toys and create your own stories, so doesn't surprise me with that. Now, fair warning, when we got a slide a few months ago actually, suggesting that Cyberworld will probably be a kids-based show, I get a feeling they're probably going to play it safe with the storyline. How deep things will go, how complex the story will be, we don't know. We'll probably get characters that will be deep cuts and maybe stuff that we'll enjoy as fans, but the writing overall itself might be something that might be a little more simplistic. We don't know yet. I'm just trying to, play devil's advocate and look at both sides here. Just a reminder, Cyberverse, which we first got aired in 2018, had these 10-minute runtime episodes, and they were originally designed to be kind of a download extra feature to the Cartoon Network app. And while the first two seasons in 2018 and 2019 did find itself onto television through Cartoon Network in the US and YTV in Canada, season 3 and season 4 were short-lived and found itself more online through YouTube. And obviously the more movie batch nature of season 4 led to that, especially for it being on YouTube, as opposed to being on the networks. They were on the networks afterwards, but they debuted obviously on YouTube first. And their choice to make stuff debut on YouTube, again, I just have a few questions. How long are those run times? If they're 10 minutes, that's hard to tell a story. And I loved Cyberverse, But I think Cyberverse's biggest weakness was those 10-minute run times for telling stories. I feel that, the more traditional half-hour to 22-minute runtime with commercials gives a little more room to breathe when you're telling a story, a beginning, a middle, and end, a good bulk in the middle, So that's my first question. Second, what's the demo that it's aimed at? Obviously, it's probably going to be a kid's demo. But I do kind of agree with them going the way of YouTube. I know some people might question it, but, honestly, it's a good move. I'll tell you why. Because that's where the eyeballs are when it comes to kids. You want to have the eyeballs where kids are. And kids are looking at devices right now. They're not looking at television screens. And this is a kid segment, from what it seems. And kids are more so on devices than their 30 to 40-year-old parents. Even adult collectors that are 30 and 40, we're more guilty of watching stuff on television than kids are. Kids are on devices when they're consuming any kind of content. So if you have this new, fresh Transformer series with a little bit more simpler kind of design and storytelling and nature, where you could create this brand new market of fans, get them while they're young, and so they become Transformer fans as they're older, you need to put out a show that's in that 10 to 20 minute commercial product place and get it to those eyeballs. And one way to get it to those eyeballs is to have it on YouTube, and have YouTube have it as a featured, video or something, really push into that and have it be on YouTube. I mean, studies have shown that mostly adults watch television still, not kids. And the only time kids ever find themselves watching even YouTube on a television screen is they're really just kind of turning it on and looking at the suggested homepage video stuff. You don't really have anything that's like, people punching in Transformers on their remote control letter by letter. So I could kind of understand them going the YouTube route. It kind of is just an evolution of the future. Let's be real, we're all guilty of it. How much actual TV do we watch as opposed to how much YouTube we watch or streaming services? And at the same time, you don't want to put it on a streaming service like just a Paramount Plus or a Netflix and just kind of have it walled in into this one place where if a family or a house or, doesn't have a streaming service, they can't watch this. You put it on YouTube, anybody could watch it. And when I mean anybody, anyone around the world could watch it. So they watch it for free. And let's be real, Hasbro could put it on their Transformers YouTube channel. They could run commercials on it, and they make their own revenue from those commercials on the YouTube channel. And then they could reap the rewards of that. They get the money from the commercials of the YouTube channel. They're able to advertise their product, because at the end of the day, these are 10 to 20 minute episodes, but they are toy commercials at the end of the day for their product. So they're able to advertise their product, put it out there, get people excited, and then hopefully we all enjoy and it all works out in the end. That's what I'm hoping. I know Takara Tomy does that already. They do these little shorts and they do these little fun little animations and stuff on their Takara Tomy channel to advertise their products disguised as storytelling, episodic nature. So I could see them doing the same thing here. Is it going to be great animation? Is it going to be great storytelling? Is it going to be captivating characters? That we don't know. We just have a slight visual of some of the toys here. We have a general idea of some of the names of the characters because of listings, and we're just going to have to take it from there. We're going to learn all of this, obviously, at the Nuremberg Toy Fair on Transformer Tuesday, January 28th, up until Saturday, February 1st. And hopefully it all works out. Let me know what you think about all of this. Very interesting stuff, and hopefully it all develops nicely, and we get a good Transformer series out of it. Hey, Bull Megatron, that's different enough for me, so that already has me a little interested. Let me know what you think, and once again, thank you for listening to the Transformers Slag podcast and keeping you educated, entertained, and informed on our beautiful robot hobby, and I will talk to you in the near future.
Ha ha ha!